Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You got your boys here, Lanny, Bert. Dividend Diplomats. Today's Saturday edition of this video, we're going to talk about two stocks on my watch list that have a yield of over 5%. Guys, we are not messing around. We are trying to grow our dividend income. That's why I'm watching these two high-yielding dividend stocks, baby.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true, guys. Smash that subscribe button. Give Bert, the Hurt, and Lanny a nice thumbs up here, guys. You're rocking with us. We know you're with us. You're investing. You want to get to financial freedom by building a passive income flowing, cash dealing, real dealing, girls stealing, kiss smooching. Bert's in the club, doesn't know what he's doing. Woo! Dividend investing right here, guys. And Bert's got two stocks that are yielding over 5%, both down on a year to date and on a 1 year basis right now. Bert, seems like there's some safety in these two dividend stocks right now that are yielding high. And I mean, both are going to be here for quite some time.
That's right. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about them. We're going to run through our screener, which features three metrics and a bonus metric: PE ratio less than the S&P 500, payout ratio less than 60%, history of increasing dividends, and that bonus metric, the dividend yield. We've been talking about it on our channel a lot. The market's crazy right now. Earnings season's tough. Fed
Crazy.
doesn't seem to know what they do. Last week was filled with optimism. Then we had this week where everything was chugging along. Then good old Jerome said, we're not exactly sure if we're done with inflation yet. I think I'm paraphrasing here a little bit and I'm watering down the message, but the reality is, like we said in our video last week, he doesn't necessarily know what's going on. It's so hard to read the metrics, see what direction things are going, and that sent the stock market tumbling once again towards the end of the week.
Yeah, I think today was the first day in like 8 or 9 days where it was down. You know, the stock market was down. The S&P 500 was down about 35 points today. But as we all know, the market has been on a nice little quote unquote tear the last, 2 weeks, would you say, Bert? And, again, we're filming this here on November 9th. And, definitely catch our other videos because let's get out of this timing of the market. Let's get back to just pricing out your stock prices and buying when the price is right. Let's get back to Bob Barker, price is right, buy that stock, price is there where you want it. So, Bert, you've got two stocks here. And first, before we dive in, Bert, do you own both of these stocks?
I do. And that's the beauty of this. It would be adding to our positions, growing income in positions we already have, lowering those cost bases potentially and getting that income juiced up so we can get that higher drip, point the drip up higher so we can get more shares reinvested every single quarter.
That's right. Bert wants that water bill to come through because that drip is always on, baby.
Geez. All right. Well, on that note, let's just talk through this. On this one, first one, I've talked about it a lot on this channel over the last month. T.Rowe Price, ticker symbol TROW. This one is in my wife's portfolio. We own 37.885 shares of T.Rowe. I have our brokerage up on my other screen. That's what I'm trying to hunt down now to get you the exact numbers here. This position produces $184 of annual dividend income. It is so close to hitting $200 per share. I mean, not per share, per year for T.Rowe. So we're looking to add it, but we're not just looking for it because of that. The stock has come back down, as you said, Lanny. T.Rowe Price down year to date, down 13.96 year to date, down 24.66% over the last year. So it's been a tough 2023 for TROW.
TROW, man, the TROW. Who here owns T.Rowe Price stock? Let us know in the comments below. Also, guys, let us know. Is anybody out there that's on the actual T.Rowe Price platform? Would love to see the feedback there. I once was, but I'm not anymore. So yeah, 93.91. Bert, analysts are expecting $7.35 on this Dividend Aristocrat. Halfway between Dividend Aristocrat, Dividend King, getting closer and closer every year, obviously. PE ratio right now is under 13 at 12.78. Fairly undervalued, but I could tell that that EPS metric is also coming down as well with analysts as they adjust expectations.
That is, and let's see how that declining EPS has impacted the payout ratio. Their annual dividend is $4.88. That gives you a payout ratio of 66%. So just a hair above our 60% threshold, but nothing too concerning right now. We still have plenty of room before it hits 100% or the dividend exceeds earnings per share. We got plenty of room. So I'm not feeling too concerned about the safety of that dividend.
I'm sure those strategic capital deployment meetings are getting pretty interesting right now, because you don't really plan out if you're going to increase the dividend or not the night before. Usually, you plan this out well in advance. Um,
Yeah, it's just
so
it's a dartboard. They just chuck it and
yeah,
say like, what
yeah,
percent
yes or
increase do
no.
we want?
Keep in mind too, as we slide into the dividend growth rate, the average growth rate on T.Rowe is pretty large, double digits for 12.73%. However, that last increase was less than 2%. So when the markets aren't surging and churning along, plus you have interest rate risk, T.Rowe Price dealing with, keep it managing the assets under management, making sure the outflows, aren't, trumping the inflows as well. Um, that's really something to keep in mind and impacts the dividend growth rate. But again, 36 years, growing dividends, fantastic.
Their yield has swollen up to over 5%. It's at 5.2% right now, which is incredible. The T.Rowe Price is yielding over 5%. So that's an obvious reason why it has jumped up on my watch list and very high towards the top in that heavy buy zone for me. Let's summarize the metrics here. 12.78 PE ratio, 66% payout ratio, 12.73% 5-year dividend growth rate. Although, as you highlighted, Lanny, last year's dividend growth was not even close to that. Increase for 36 years. They are that aristocrat with a 5.2% yield. T.Rowe Price, everybody, that is stock number one here.
Yeah. I mean, let's see what happens going into 2025 with T.Rowe, but I can see why they're on your watch list. Bert, this second stock, the one letter, the block letter on our baseball team's hat, I think they still have that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, replaced a different logo that they didn't want on our baseball team's hats anymore. So we got the
Well,
C,
they slowly did that even with the
the
current,
script
even
eye.
with, yeah,
Oh, yeah, that one was even worse. That was by far the worst logo, the script eye.
yeah.
You
Or I was actually referring to just they were trying to migrate from Wahoo and they
Yeah.
put the block C already on the hats. Remember
Yeah, you're
that?
right. Yeah, they subtly slipped that one in there.
Yeah, they were doing the migration then.
Yes. All right. So, all right. We're talking about C. So, oh my goodness. We're talking about Citibank, ticker symbol C. Much like T.Rowe, we've been building a position in my wife's account for a long time now. We have 79 shares. Market value is almost 3,300. Our annual dividend income from Citi is 167.97. So, like T.Rowe Price, we're closing in on $200 of annual dividend income in this position, which would be huge for Citibank because that'd be close to dripping almost five shares a year if we can get it above 200.
10 shares a year. 10
10
shares a
shares
year,
a
guys.
year.
But yes, C, top five, US bank, a couple trillion in total assets. They are massive, too big to fail for sure for Citi. So yeah, Bert, what were you saying here? What are analysts expecting? I know this is always the fun
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, their earnings are $6.01. Their current price is 41.50. That's a PE ratio of 6.91. But also banks, we look at the price to book ratio. We always wanted price to book under one, like right around or under one to show signs of undervaluation. It's been a tough 2023 for banks. A lot of banks are teetering around that 1x
We
mark.
actually had a bank failure occur over the weekend out in was that Iowa?
Yeah, if it was. Yeah, they just couldn't hang on anymore. They were gripping for life. They're like, hey, we're not. It's not just you, Silicon Valley. We're coming up in the club with you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
all right, yeah, all right. So Citi's price to book ratio is 0.42x. Very
Wow.
undervalued.
Cheap stock.
Yeah, the bank's bloated. Management, they have a new management team. They're coming in, they're cutting people, they're streamlining the business, they're going through a restructuring. But to your point, it's still Citibank. They still have trillions in assets, trillion in deposit. Been around forever. It's Citi. And that's why we've been building and adding to our position slowly over the last year or so.
We built this city. So the dividend payout ratio based on a dividend go forward right now of $2.12 or 53 cents a quarter, 35%. So very low, very safe dividend payout ratio. Plenty of room to grow, Bert.
Yeah, and they don't really have a 5-year dividend growth rate. They paused for a while. The pandemic, they just increased it for the first time this year actually. So that was exciting. So they have a 1 year dividend growth history, but we're just going to throw their 5 year dividend growth rate metric out, not even worry about it because there is no dividend growth rate here except for that one.
But the dividend yield, like you said, is now surging over 5% at 5.11%. So you had T.Rowe at 5.2 and Citi at 5.11. Bert, have you been buying these stocks? Are they at your price point? Are you buying these stocks right now?
Absolutely. I mean, it's easy to grab a share or two of Citibank. This Friday before, like, right the day before the video come through, we're grabbing at least a share of each one of these. One share of T.Rowe,
Right.
one share of
That's right.
Citi. It's very easy. We built the position. We want to get to that $200 of annual dividend income for these positions for each. So it's an attainable goal by the end of the year, and one that we're just going to
Exactly.
keep nibbling and keep building on these positions while we can.
Bert's trying to get to financial freedom as fast as he can, doing it in a smart, high quality way. Where you're stacking assets here. The question is to the community: are you buying T.Rowe Price stock? Are you buying Citigroup? Let us know below. Oh, Bert's chucking his beer. Yeah.
Sorry. And I was going to tell you guys, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Give this video a thumbs up. And remember, if you're not with us, you're against us, Jack.
That was Bert, the Heart Man, and Lanny from the DD over and out.